Well, thank you for staying with us on NTV Weekend Edition. Let's continue with our bulletin and still having a look at what's been happening across the region. And since April 2022, hundreds of thousands of people have been rendered internally displaced by fighting between the M23 armed group and the DRC military force. Though the exit of the armed group in some parts of North Kivu has witnessed a relative calm in the last few weeks, many are yet to return home. The living conditions in the IDP camps are a challenge for the government and a nightmare for the affected refugees. Leila Mohammed spent time with some IDPs in Goma and Kilolirwe and filed the following report. Have a look.
This small tent is Alice Fantera and her young family's abode for the moment. Most of the days, she spends at this camp in Kanyamahuro in Goma, and her husband spends the days away from the tent to earn something for the young family that has 3 young daughters.
Sasa shida yangu atupoke yake njala njeni na tatu. Sasa tunapenda turudie kwetu omwe tuone gisi tunatenda tafutisha kama ni kulima tuone sie gisi tutakomalisha tukue na kula jupya kubaki hapa mkambi tuko naona tumeshinda.
Many here are uncertain of what the future holds for them. The living conditions aren't the best, and the Governor General for the North Kivu region says that they are aware of the tragic humanitarian situation here.
Mais je venais de vous donner la statistique des déplacés de guerre.
But I gave you the statistics of IDPs.
Tous ces aides, etc. réunis.
All those aids or assistance put together.
Mon frère George, ce n'est qu'une goutte d'eau dans l'océan.
That has been a drop of water in the ocean.
More than 500,000 people have settled in camps like this one in areas closer to Goma city and in other parts of the region that have seen relative calm.
We had to see how do we tilt the balance. And if you talk to people, they are now more reassured. They can see significant progress being made from the Western Front. They can see for the last 1 month the ceasefire is holding. The main corridors, the main supply routes have been opened.
The major armed group, the M23, that has been in charge of the area, is currently in a ceasefire with the government in line with the Angola agreement.
We have a strategy on how we want to synchronize how the M23 is withdrawing from these locations due to one fact that there are people that are on the ground that are very vulnerable, and we have to take care of that. And therefore, our deployment and withdrawal of M23 has to be sequenced, has to be orderly, okay, and a process that can be verified.
Many living in camps say they would love to get back home and do life as they did in the past.
Turudie kwetu, barikipelele mafasi yenye wale magaidi wanakamata, turudie kunyumba tuende tulime juu hivi wenye munatupatia navyo hawitutosherei.
The weather here doesn't make the situation in the camps any better. It's been raining heavily in the last few months. That has become a challenge for the women and children who have to brave through the cold nights, and the danger of contracting cholera also looms.
Hakuna hospitali iko hapa. Watu hawatunzi. Tunawakimbiza ambao walitoka mahali ingine. Hakuna kitu hata kimoja ambao wanatendewa hapa.
In this dispensary, this young mother has come to be treated for cholera. She's weak and can barely walk. On her arm is her child, also looking frail and weak.
Wanganga wenyewe walikuwa wanatumika hapa sababu ya vita, walikimbia hawajarudi, ila tu nilikuta mmoja na tuko pamoja naye tunasaidiana kutumika kazi.
The facility also lacks enough medicine and has no electricity. The volunteer healthcare worker tells us that emergency care for pregnant mothers is a challenge.
Kunatoka watu kama wasita hivyo walikuwa na wagonjwa. Tunapatia tu kwa madawa tulio nayo, tunawapatia tu kidogo ili waendelee kupata nafuu kuhusu magonjwa.
The absence of M23 in some areas has created a window for smaller armed groups to terrorize civilians who have chosen to flee to centers closer to where EACRF troops are stationed.
Tunakimbizwa na vikundi ya kumiliki silaha, Nyatura, Maimai, FDLR.
Barituweka ng'ombe zetu, bakatupora vitu ya munyumba vyote bakabeba. Ase tuko M23. Na wakati M23 tulisikia ingari Ruchuru tuko huku Masisa tukua tunaelewa M23 ni nini kama ni kabila gani. Lakini tunashangaa tunasikia M23 iko mo kabila mingi, muko Bashi, muko Bahutu, muko Bahunde, muko Bandandi, muko kabila yote. Lakini tunashangara Mutusi njoo mwenyewe anaita M23 na banamufuata, banamukulia byake, banamukimbiza, banamutesa.
The presence of the Burundi forces here in Kilolirwe has provided some form of comfort for the residents here, and some of them are just building up tents to be the latest cohort of IDPs within various areas in eastern DRC, as these defense forces for the EACRF mission now say that there is need for education and health to be a critical part of how to bring back life to the people of this region.
Hapa tunapata shida ya chakula na mavazi, hakuna soko, kila kitu hapa kiendeki, hakuna na biashara na kulima, hakuna kitu kabisa.
Usalama wa raia uko sawa. Tulifungua barabara inayotoka Sake kwenda Kiloligwe, Kichanga kuendelea hadi Mweso, na barabara kutoka Sake Mushaki kuendelea Masisi. Pia tulirudisha ngombe na mbuzi zilizokuwa zimeibiwa eneo la Nyamitaba.
Some are on the roads out here, leaving for safety with their children.
Jue sasa nye njo wajera, sasa siye ni kuishiishi tu. Juu huku kwetu tunatoka ni kulala mupori. Maisha inakatala, kila mtu iko munjia zake na boga mingi sana.
Wengine kutoka hizi ngambo za Karenga, Nyaruguru, zile ngambo zote njo mama walifika hapa. Juu kulifika kule Nyatura FDRR, juu zilibakimbiza mama moya, na jana kuko ambaye enda tafuta chakula kule kwa kidnapping, na leo kuko mzee mwacho apata.
The EAC regional force has been keeping the peace out here in the last 6 months, with an extension of mandate expected in the wings soon.
The situation within Eastern DRC still remains volatile, and concerted effort geared towards assisting the population to ensure resumption of normal lives as envisioned by the East African Community heads of state need to be fast-tracked.
In Rumangabo, where Kenyan troops are stationed alongside the South Sudanese troops, it is the lack of education for the children here that is a big worry for even the soldiers out here.
Kwa hizi maeneo ambazo zimekuwa na shida ikiwa inaendelea kwa muda, kwa saizi watoto ama mashule asijafungua, ni kwa sababu ya ile shida ambayo imekuwepo. Kwa siku za usoni ni matarajio yetu kwamba hizo mashule zitafungua na watoto watarudi shule.
The same situation is faced in Bunagana on the border with Uganda.
As we are looking for the way forward to see that either the government or the system in place, that's the government, or these NGOs can send people this far so that they can put some system back in place and people start getting services.
Back in Goma, a class goes on in the middle of this area. Children are in class. However, some refugee mothers sleep and cook in this classroom as well.
Hapa ambapo tupo tulifikia kwenye mwingine ya watu na wale watoto wao ndio wanasoma, lakini sisi tangia tukimbie watoto wetu bado hawajasoma.
The Nairobi for political process that will bring together the M23 and the government of DRC is expected to happen anytime soon here within Eastern Congo. And for many who have been here for the last 6 months, they now say they want to be part and parcel of that conversation and for them to face their perpetrators.
Mkuwe natupeleka kuile kikao kwenye munaikana na M23 ni kuje na wale wa victim ambao waliweza kuwafanyizia vitendo vibaya, wawashuhudie wakiwaona na wakisema mahali waliweza kufanyizia ile vitendo.
Tunateseka hapa. Kutoka kwetu kufika hapa hakuna mtu anatugharamia, msaada hatuna. Tunapenda omwe vita ishe.
But for the moment, the women and children can only sing and give themselves morale to get through the hard times here. Leila Mohammed, NTV, in Eastern DRC.
Well, thank you, Leila, for that. She has just arrived from the Democratic Republic of Congo.